All right, welcome to another edition of Mike Finds Things. It's been our first one in about 6 months. A couple people have been asking me when I'm going to be bringing this one back. So we're bringing it back. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to find. I've been spending a lot of time on my other channel, which is my name, Mike Frankovich. And on that channel, I do car videos, and that's been actually doing really well. And I haven't really had time to go out and find records, and even when I had time, I really didn't find much of anything super interesting. So hopefully that'll change. I'll start actively trying to go out and find stuff at estate sales and buying out lots and things like that again, since now I've got a little bit more time, since other things in my life are calming down. So this time what we're doing is it's a tribute to Art Laboe, who passed away yesterday. If you don't know who Art Laboe was, he was this LA DJ who did like requests and dedications. A lot of guys my age will remember him on KRLA years ago, 1110. Not the later KRLA that was like a talk station, which I think was like on a different frequency. The original KRLA. And he basically coined the phrase oldies but goodies. And he promoted a lot of like local shows for a lot of these artists back in like the 50s and 60s. And he also ran his own record label, which was Original Sound Recordings. And he had a studio on Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood, directly across from Hollywood High School. So he put out his own records. He did both. He did reissues, and he also did his own original records. So actually I went last night through a lot of my records, went through my record collection and found a lot of stuff related to Art Laboe, sort of as a tribute to him. He was 97 when he passed, so he lived a very long life, touched a lot of lives, especially here in Los Angeles. And fortunately, his records, a lot of them are, you know, you can still get them for a very reasonable price, and it's great to collect it to keep kind of like the music alive. And the first one he did the first Oldies but Goodies compilation, I believe, in 1958. And it spent, I can't remember, it was like 180 something weeks on the Billboard chart, album charts. So it was just like a massive success. And it was like the first time that's really woke the record industry up to the fact that there was a market to take all these older, at the time, rock and roll recordings, package them on a compilation, and be able to sell them to kind of give them new life, and of course to create more revenue for the record companies. But he was kind of the first guy to start that. So I'm going to show you some of these records I have here in the collection. I've got some of the Oldies but Goodies compilations. I've got one that was one of the LPs he put out of an original artist that he produced. I got some 45s, both reissues, and also ones that were artists that he produced and put out their records. And I've got a couple other LPs that'll be at the end that weren't put out by him but are sort of related. So without further ado, let's get started here. So the first one I've actually got 2 copies of this. This is the Oldies but Goodies. I've got 2 different versions of it. 5001. So this was the first Oldies but Goodies album. Now he also put these out later on CD and cassette, and a lot of them, if you look, there's a different variation on the jacket there and on the back. But these are both the first volume Oldies but Goodies LP. And we find a lot of these locally, I'm guessing because Art Laboe was obviously from Los Angeles. But I know these were sold nationally. These can be picked up usually at flea markets or whatever, or record. I mean, but they're great because you could put the record on and just have it play through, and they're all original hits. They're not like the re-records or anything like that, which they did in a lot of later compilations. And here's volume 2. So the last one was volume 1. And you can see it's actually got a great picture. It's got Art Laboe right there on this one. So that's volume 2. And like I said, these are hits, you know, G by the Crows, Night Owl, a lot of doo-wop, stuff like that from that era. And we got volume 3. So, see, the jackets were fairly plain. They usually had like some sort of gold or something on it. This one's, you know, Don't You Just Know It, Hugh Piano Smith, You Cheated, you know, stuff like that. For Your Precious Love, Jerry Butler. These were hits. These were original hits. They're, like I said, not re-records, which is why I like these albums. They're great for, just like I said, you just want to listen to records, and you don't feel like turning on, well, for me, I turn on the jukebox, and you don't want to sit there and play 45s. These were great records. Here's volume 4, Oldies But Goodies. I said these are not expensive records, and if you want to keep going with you know, an Art Laboe collection, these are a great way to go. I realize there's no like rare Northern Soul in this video, so we're going to try to bring all that back. I said I've gotten a lot of people asking me. They actually started leaving comments on my car videos. When are you going to start doing record videos again? So here's volume 5. Like I said, this one's got like 60 Minute Man by the Dominoes, Stay by Maurice Williams and the Zodiacs, Angel Baby. Gotta have Angel Baby on an LA compilation, especially. Very popular song. Here's volume 6. So it's got Duke of Earl, those Oldies But Goodies. Speaking of Oldies But Goodies, Mashed Potato Time, Dee Dee Sharp, Honky Tonk Part 1 and Part 2 on this one. Although that 45 is very easy to find. I think every time I go look through 45s from that era, I always find a Bill Doggett Honky Tonk record. Here's volume 7. Well, this is like, I promise we're going to run out of volumes here in a second. I'm not sure how many volumes they did on LP. But I've got 1 through 8, so and since we did 7, we'll do 8. Here's volume 8, and like I said, these were released, like I say, did the CDs. A lot of them have different track listings than the LPs, and like I said, the cassettes. And now, in addition to the Oldies But Goodies series, which these, like I said, these were very popular. Like I said, I do run across these a lot here in Southern California, and I know they were sold nationally. He also did, like I said, his own artist that he recorded at his recording studio in Hollywood on Sunset Boulevard. It was at Sunset Highland across from Hollywood High. I think it was torn down about 15 years ago, if I remember right. The building was still there till then. Preston Epps, Bongo, Bongo, Bongo. So this is the one with Bongo Rock. You can see, this one he has an ad for the Oldies But Goodies series. So this was an original one that he did, and this was actually a hit, Bongo Rock. And there's also a single to this. For some reason, I know I've got several copies of Bongo Rock on a single, and I couldn't find one. So last night when I was looking around, and I know what'll happen after this video's up, I'll find it. But that's the Bongo Rock LP. And the original sound labels are they're all black, and of course they say original sound on them. And that was a cool find. That's the only time I found the LP. Like I said, I found the 45. It comes up a lot here in Southern California. Now we're going to move into the 45. I got 2 45s that ones that he produced, like when he produced the record and put it out on his label when it was new. So first one I have is a 1967 garage single by the Music Machine, which you might remember. I think they did Talk Talk. This one's actually got to punch it for a return. It's The People in Me on one side. So that's the early original sound label for 45, and Masculine Intuition is the B-side on that one. I looked it up. This sells, the highest it's ever sold on Discogs I think was $32. The median's about $10. Like I said, not setting the world on fire value wise. This one's in really nice condition. Looks like it was probably a return that wasn't played much, but that came out of my garage collection. And then he also did, this one comes up locally. I know this sells for a few bucks on, I can't remember what this sells for on Discogs. I know I've looked it up before. I've got a couple copies of this one. Hollywood Persuaders, Agua Caliente. And this one has a slightly different label. This is actually I think we've had this on the channel before when I found these. And this is a surf record on original sound. You can see this one's got the little design on the outside, and Drums A Go-Go on the other side. Agua Caliente, I believe, was the A side. It's like a surf record that's got like sound effects of like bubbling, like bubbles. So, like I said, one of the Art Laboe original sound records that he put out for the artist when it was new. So he did a bit of that. Now we're going to move into, he also did original sound Oldies But Goodies series 45s. Now these were reissues of like other label records usually. I've got several here. Actually I had duplicates of some, so I left the duplicates out. These are double A side, different artist on each side. So these are great for jukeboxes. They're not really worth, I mean, they're probably a few bucks each, just like any double A side reissue jukebox record would be. This one's got Shades of Blue, Oh How Happy, and you can see the Oldies but Goodies label there on the 45, and Mel and Tim, Backfield in Motion on the other side. On that one, I said most of these reissue. Every time I buy like a lot of reissues, I usually find at least one or two original sound recordings in there. This one is Then You Can Tell Me Goodbye by the Casinos. So doo-wopper, and then the other side is Keeper of Dreams by the Galahads on the same record. I usually like the ones where it's the same artist with two different hits from the same artist, just for spacing on my jukebox labels. I will mention I picked up a few jukeboxes since the last time we got parrots in this neighborhood. I don't know if, I think I've discussed this in prior videos. If you haven't watched one of my videos in a while, occasionally I get parrots squawking, and then somebody decided to start working like a block over, so that might be getting picked up too. I picked up a couple more jukeboxes. I might start showing some of my jukebox stuff that I find, just to kind of be able to do video more regularly. Here's one. It's Ballad of a Teenage Queen by Johnny Cash. And on the B side, Harper Valley PTA. You remember that one from the TV show from the 70s. So like I said, he did these. So they are available. I'm sure they're not that expensive since they are reissues. Great for jukeboxes. Kathy Young, 1,000 Stars. Other side, Gee What a Guy, Yvonne Carroll. So we got that. I got a couple more examples that are different, so we'll just go through them. We got Sunny Night, Once in a While on this one, and at the other side, Since I Fell for You, Lenny Welch. Like I said, he did a lot of these records. I used to own a lot of the CDs when I was younger. Bought them new. I can't find them. I was going to put them in the video, but I think they're in storage somewhere. Definitely an influence. I mean, KRLA, listening to that, and the oldie stations back then. I mean, even though obviously I'm a lot younger than a lot of this music is. This one's Maxine Brown, All in My Mind. And then the B-side is Every Beat of My Heart, Gladys Knight and the Pips. So that's some of the 45s he put out. I'm sure he put out a lot more. These are very affordable, so if you want to like your own Art Laboe collection, you can go out and find these fairly easily, maybe even find them online. Now here's some sort of related ones. They're KRLA records, they're compilations not put out by him. Now the thing that's nice about the Oldies but Goodies ones, they're not the compressed groove like your K-Tells and a lot of your other later compilations where it downgrades the audio quality. But I've got a couple KRLA. We got Son of KRLA 21 Solid Rocks. This is probably from the late 60s or so. These have great artwork. I've actually got another one that's similar to this. That's a KGB San Diego with the same artwork. I usually buy any radio station related records, but I don't know if it's going to show. These are compressed groove, so the sound quality is not going to be as good, but I like them for the artwork and for the fact they're KRLA related. I think I have like a KGFJ one that's compressed groove. If you're going to put 21 songs on an LP, you're going to compress it. Here's one somebody wrote on the cover, but this is like the only. These jackets on this particular record are always destroyed. There's the original KRLA Solid Rocks cover. Of course, somebody wrote graffiti on it as well. It looks like artwork, but then there's graffiti on the artwork. But I do run across these a lot locally, and I think they did these for other radio stations all over the country. And then here's the KRLA Solid Rocks. You can see it's very compressed groove. I just more buy these. I don't buy these really to play. I buy them just to kind of have them because they don't sound as good as the. In fact, I'll give you an example. One of the Oldies but Goodies, how the grooves are set up on that. So here's the volume 8. You can see these are not compressed groove. These are like regular. I don't know if it's going to show, but these are like normal space grooves. So you get a better sound quality versus the compressed groove like your K-Tells and your Roncos and whatnot. And those two, although those weren't put out by him, they are KRLA related. So I kind of included those for everyone to see that they exist. So that's what I've got for you this time on Mike Finds Things. Hopefully it won't be another 6 months before I do another video. It's just been tough because the car videos really have taken over. my time. Also, of course, I'm still raising a daughter, and I'm dealing with stuff related to my old shop where I used to have my scooter shop that the building had caught on fire last year. So that's just been a massive disaster for the last year and a half. If I find anything, I'm just going to do a video, even if it's a short video. I've got some other stuff I have found recently that I haven't really cataloged yet, so I could do stuff on that. I got some I bought at a thrift store. I got some 78s that I bought at an estate sale, and like they basically sold me all the 78s, but it was all like Victrola era stuff. And maybe I'll do some videos on the jukeboxes I picked up that once they're up and running again. I picked up a 1952 Seeburg Model C, as well as a 1956 Ricola Model 1448. So as of right now, all of my jukeboxes are 45 jukeboxes. I don't have any CD ones. So that's our tribute. That's kind of our show to show you, collecting Art Laboe stuff, sort of as a tribute to Art Laboe. You kind of keep the music going. So be sure to like, subscribe. Let me know what your history is with some of these original sound recording records, and of course memories of Art Laboe. And until next time, I'll be seeing you.